Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome back to my channel, Building a Business. So every month I go over my income and expenses for the previous month. And so in this video, I'm going to be going over my income, expenses, total profit for the month of October 2020. Now this is definitely an exciting financial update for me to post because it is the first month in which I had an income from my very first rental property. So let's get into the video. So here are my rental finances for the month of October 2020. Now you can see that my starting balance at the beginning of the month was $27,440.20. On the first of the month, I was paid an interest payment from the previous month, and so this payment this month was $7.46. I make my monthly deposit into the account of $1,000 from my regular job, and so here is that. It was deposited on the 2nd of the month. Then on the 4th of the month, this is very exciting, I got my very first rent payment. The rent payment that I got to my account was $443.94. Now this payment is unusual for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't have to start paying my mortgage yet, and so I received more money than I should have, given that my mortgage payment was $0 for the month of September. And secondly, I only owned the property for a portion of September, and so this was the prorated amount that I received. And the 10% that I paid to my property management company each month was already taken away from this amount. So once I finish going through the expenses, I will go into the specifics of my September rent payment as well as my October rent payment. But just for now, the amount that I received was $443.94. Now, on October 5th, I made a payment to my personal account of $115.06. And this was from expenses from closing on my first property. So that included a number of overnight shipments, as well as some FedEx scanning and other services. And I had paid for all of that with my personal account, and so I transferred from my savings account for my rental properties into my personal account. Now, on October 8th, I received $70,000 as a private money loan. And so I went into some details on the loan in a previous video, but this loan hit my account on October 8th. And unlike my mortgage where I have to pay every month, with this loan, I pay once a year. Granted, it's a substantially larger amount to pay once a year than every month, but that's how this loan is working. So I will not have to make my first payment towards this loan until next October. Now, on October 13th, I paid $2,104.75 for my due diligence and escrow fees. And that was because I had to send in money orders. And so my due diligence fee was $2,000 and my escrow fee was $100. And then the $4.75 was the charge that I had to pay in order to get those money orders. I then, on the same day, had to overnight ship those money orders, and that cost me $26.35. On October 20th, I received my October rent payment, and that was $1,109.18. As I mentioned, I will go into the specifics of how that number came about right after I finish going through the expenses. However, the one thing I will mention is that I, again, didn't have to pay my mortgage. I started paying my mortgage on November 1st. And so this is a lot more than I would normally be getting because this is not including my mortgage payment. And then lastly, on October 26th, I paid $508 for an inspection on my second property that I was under contract on. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I ended up pulling out of that deal and not going through with purchasing the property. However, all of these expenses that I had to pay for that property included the due diligence fee, escrow fee, UPS overnight shipment, and inspection. That's essentially how much money I lost by going under contract on the property and not going through with purchasing it. So if you add that all together, my ending balance is significantly higher. It's $97,246.62, and that's mainly because of the private money loan. If you take away the private money loan, then I was pretty much break even this month. So as I separated it into different categories, my automatic deposits came to $1,000. My rental property expenses were $2,754.16. Savings due to interest earned is $7.46. Rental property income is $1,553.12. And lastly, other, my private money loan was $70,000. Now, if I go to my year to date, you can see all the same information in terms of my starting balance, deposits, expenses, interest, income, and other, and my ending balance there. So you can see my totals starting with July. I've deposited $4,000. I've had $48,682.47 of expenses. I've made $38.55 in interest. I've made $1,553.12 in income. And then I have my other category with $70,000 for my private money loan. Now, my reserves that I would like to have on hand is the same as in my previous month, but essentially I have one door. I'd like 12 months of reserves, both for the monthly rent and for the monthly mortgage payment. And so in total, I would like to have $22,105.08 in cash reserves. And you can see here that I have well above that number. So I'm doing very well in terms of cash reserves on hand. Now let's move over into a breakdown of my income from September and October rent. So this is the property, and you'll see that the rent received for September, the prorated September rent, was $604.38. Now I had to pay an insurance admin fee of $100, which I believe I pay once a year, certainly not more than once a year. And then management fees, which is 10% of the rent, or $60.44. That brings the total expenses for my month of September to $160.44. And that leaves my net operating income of $443.94, which, if you'll remember, that is exactly how much I received in my bank account from my property management company. Now, the more interesting one, let's go over to October. So in October, here's the rents received, $1,295. And this is the typical amount that I should be getting each month from rent. That is what the tenants agreed to pay each month. And then they sent also a payment for utilities of $56.32 for a total income of $1,351.32. Now, if we scroll down to the expenses, here are my management fees, which is 10% of the rent, and so $129.50 of management fees. Utility expenses is $56.32, essentially canceling out the utility expenses because the tenant pays for it and then the landlord pays the utility company. And so the total expenses are $185.82. Now, that leaves me with a net operating income of $1,165.50. The issue is that if you remember correctly, if I go back to my October expenses and income, you'll see that my October rent payment was $1,109.18, not the $1,165.50. I was confused as to why it would be different. And so I scrolled up to some of the details. And what they show is that the deposit was made into my account of $1,109.18. The issue is that my ending balance was $56.32. So essentially the amount due to me right now is $56.32. Why they didn't deposit the $56.32 into my account when they deposited the rest of the amount, I am not sure about. My guess is that they deposited this amount into my account before they got the payment for utilities. However, I don't know. So that is one thing that I am going to ask my property management company, and by the time I do my next financial update, I should have an answer as to what that discrepancy is about. But that's it for this month's expenses and income. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it below and subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this in your feed every Thursday.